Once in a small, vibrant African village, there lived a girl named Blessing. She was known far and wide for her beautiful voice, which filled the church with melodies that touched the hearts of everyone. Blessing was a devoted choir singer, and her songs were said to carry the grace of the ancestors. People would travel from nearby villages just to hear her sing, believing that her voice brought them closer to the divine. One Sunday, a young pianist named Samuel arrived at the church. His hands danced across the piano keys with a talent that left everyone in awe. Blessing's heart skipped a beat when their eyes met. It was as if something stirred inside her that she had never felt before. She was young and had never known love, so when this unfamiliar feeling of attraction overtook her, she mistook it for true love. Samuel, though talented, was not as spiritually grounded. He noticed Blessing's admiration and drew closer to her, but his intentions were far from sincere. Over time, the two grew closer, and one evening, driven by confusion and overwhelming feelings, Blessing gave herself to him. From that moment, things began to change. Blessing's voice, once filled with the Spirit, became empty. Her songs no longer carried the power they once had. Where her voice once brought peace, it now became noise. The congregation noticed. The whispers began. People no longer felt the anointing in her music. Blessing was ashamed, burdened by guilt for her actions. Days turned into weeks, and Blessing avoided singing altogether. She withdrew from the choir, unsure of how to find her way back. Her heart was heavy, and she felt lost. It was then that Blessing met Mama Grace, a wise elder who had lived through many trials and understood the power of forgiveness and redemption. Mama Grace was known for her deep spiritual connection and had once been a singer herself in her youth. Hearing about Blessing's troubles, she invited the girl to her home for prayer. Blessing poured out her heart, sharing her shame and guilt. Mama Grace listened with kindness and then said, "Child, the Spirit does not leave us forever. We are flawed, but mercy is always within reach if we seek it earnestly." Together they prayed for hours, and as Blessing wept, she felt the weight begin to lift from her shoulders. Mama Grace laid her hands on her and said, "The ancestors and God's mercy have not forsaken you. You must forgive yourself, and your voice will return." The next Sunday, with a trembling heart, Blessing stood before the congregation once again. She closed her eyes, and as she began to sing, her voice flowed like a river of grace. It was richer, more powerful, and carried the healing she had once known, but now even deeper. The church was silent, and then tears flowed as people felt the anointing return stronger than before. Blessing learned that true love is not fleeting and confused by lust. She now sang not just with her voice but with her heart, knowing that grace and mercy had given her a second chance. From that day on, her songs not only blessed the village but inspired many to seek forgiveness and return to their spiritual paths. Blessing's voice became a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that no matter how lost one might feel, redemption is always possible.